3 squad cars rolled into my driveway like I was some cartel boss. Sirens screaming, lights flashing, red and blue splashing across the walls of my quiet street. Neighbors peeked through blinds, filming from porches. And there I stood, barefoot, holding my garden hose, water still dripping onto the concrete. All this, because the HOA president wanted access to my pool. Yeah, my private pool. The lead officer stepped out, hand on his belt. "Sir, we got a call about threats made regarding pool access." "Are you Ethan Monroe?" "That's me," I said. "The only threat I've made today was to my tomato plants if they don't start producing." Behind him stood the self-appointed Empress of Maple Ridge, Beverly Hutchins. Blonde bob, pastel cardigan, and 3 color-coded binders tucked under her arm like royal decrees. Each binder was labeled in bold font, "Pool Access Violation, Evidence of Hostile Noncompliance, and Community Pool Initiative." She wasn't there to talk, she was there to conquer. "He threatened me with legal action," she announced dramatically. "When I tried to implement community pool sharing protocols." Her voice trembled with practiced outrage. I just blinked. All I said was that she couldn't use my pool for her aerobics class. The officer glanced at me, then back at her, confused. "See, Beverly didn't know I wasn't your average homeowner. I'd spent 15 years as a municipal contract lawyer, specializing in zoning and property law. If she wanted to wage a legal war over pool rights, she just picked the wrong battlefield, and the wrong opponent. I bought my house in Maple Ridge 3 years ago, 4 bedrooms, mature trees, quiet neighborhood. But the real gem was the pool. A kidney-shaped retreat with a rock waterfall, LED lighting, and complete privacy behind a 6-foot cedar fence. Before buying, I read every line of the property deed. 3 times. It clearly stated the pool was a private amenity, not under HOA jurisdiction. I even had a colleague double-check it. So when Beverly moved in 6 months later and decided my backyard was her next project, I thought it'd blow over. Oh, how wrong I was. Within weeks of her arrival, Beverly staged what my neighbors still call the coup of the chrysanthemums. She accused the old HOA president of neglecting the entrance flowerbeds and somehow got herself elected in his place. From that day on, she ruled Maple Ridge like a queen with a clipboard, inspecting lawns, citing mailbox heights, and scolding people for trash cans visible before 7 p.m. For months, I stayed under her radar. Lawn trimmed, fence painted, no violations. But then came the neighborhood barbecue, the day she discovered my pool. She wandered into my backyard, eyes widening like she'd just found Atlantis. "This is magnificent," she said. "The community would benefit greatly from access to such amenities." I smiled politely. Good thing the community gets a lovely view, from outside the fence. That polite smile triggered something in her. Within days, she started her campaign. First came the subtle comments at HOA meetings about underutilized private resources. Then the letters, each more official-looking than the last, suggesting I could volunteer my pool for community fitness hours. I replied with short, professional emails citing the property deed and relevant state laws. Apparently, logic only fueled her determination. Soon, a sign appeared on my gate. Community pool hours, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. That one didn't last long. I tore it down and replaced the lock. But she wasn't done. She mailed out neighborhood surveys, sneaky ones, asking if residents supported equal access to aquatic facilities. 60% said yes, thinking she meant the actual community pool. Beverly took that as her mandate. A week later, my security camera caught her at dawn, measuring my fence with a tape measure. When I stepped outside and told her to leave or I'd pursue legal action for trespassing, her face hardened like I'd just threatened her life. And that was the trigger. In Beverly's mind, legal action meant threat of violence. So she called 911. That's how I ended up surrounded by police cars, accused of threatening the HOA president. I calmly set down my hose. "Officers," I said, "I have security footage of this morning's incident. Would you like to review it?" Beverly turned crimson. "That's not necessary," she snapped. The lead officer, Sergeant Davis, opened one of her binders. It was full of HOA newsletters and pool party flyers. He sighed. "Ma'am, these are event schedules, not evidence." She blustered. "Context. It's all about context." I unlocked my phone and handed it over. The footage played, Beverly creeping along my fence line, tape measure in hand. My voice calm and clear, "Leave my property, or I'll take legal action." Sergeant Davis folded his arms. "Ma'am, threatening legal action isn't a crime. It's what you do when someone trespasses." But Beverly wasn't finished embarrassing herself. She pulled out a fresh folder. "These blueprints," she said proudly, "prove his pool extends 2 feet into HOA common ground." I took the folder and examined it. County stamps. Surveyor's marks. Looked legit, at first glance. Then I noticed something. The document's date stamp was 1998. But the county hadn't started using that font until 2005. And the surveyor's license number? It belonged to someone who died in 1994. I looked up. "Sergeant, these blueprints are fake." He frowned, examining the page. "Ma'am, did you make these?" Beverly sputtered. "I may have enhanced them for clarity." "Enhanced?" I repeated. "You forged government documents." The sergeant radioed for a detective. Officers started photographing the fake papers. And that's when Beverly's crusade officially crossed from annoying to criminal. When the detective arrived, Beverly admitted she'd revised the documents. And then, unbelievably, confessed to installing a hidden camera aimed at my pool for safety monitoring. That added unlawful surveillance to the list of charges. The detective was calm but firm. "Ma'am, you'll be receiving a summons for forgery, falsifying public records, and invasion of privacy." Beverly gasped. "I was trying to help the community." He didn't flinch. "You forged county blueprints, ma'am. That's not helping, that's a felony." By that evening, the neighborhood group chat was on fire. The HOA called an emergency meeting at the community center. When I walked in, it was standing room only. Beverly sat at the head of the table, pale but still defiant. She slammed a gavel. "I move to invoke Article 15, Presidential Immunity for actions taken in good faith." Harold, the treasurer, adjusted his glasses. "Beverly. Article 15 covers landscaping emergencies, not felonies." The crowd murmured. I rose from my seat. "If I may address the board." Beverly snapped, "You have no standing here. This is HOA business." Margaret, the secretary, cut her off. "He's a homeowner and the victim of your alleged crimes. He can speak." I stepped forward, calm and steady. "Board members, Ms. Hutchins' actions have exposed this HOA to massive legal liability. She forged county documents, conducted illegal surveillance, and filed false police reports." Gasps rippled through the room. Beverly shouted, "Objection," as if the community center were a courtroom. I continued, "I've prepared a cease and desist order and will be filing a civil suit for defamation and emotional distress." The board exchanged anxious looks. Then Harold spoke. "In light of these developments, I move for an immediate vote of no confidence." "Seconded," said Margaret. All 5 board members raised their hands. Unanimous. Beverly's shoulders slumped. "You can't do this. The pool initiative was going to be my legacy." Harold sighed. "Your legacy will be the new bylaws we write, to make sure this never happens again." As she gathered her binders, I said one last thing. "For what it's worth, I'll be hosting a pool party this Saturday. Board members and neighbors are welcome." A pause, And then I smiled. It's by invitation only. The room broke into laughter. Beverly stormed out, clutching her binders like a life raft. The following week, the DA charged her with 3 felonies and 2 misdemeanors. Her lawyer managed to get a plea deal, 2 years probation, a $5,000 fine, and 300 hours of community service. The judge also issued a restraining order. She wasn't allowed within 100 feet of my property. When the judge read the sentence, Beverly started crying. I was trying to build community, she said. The judge's tone was steady. Ma'am, forging government documents to seize private property isn't community service, it's a crime. Her sobs echoed through the courtroom. And for the first time, I actually felt a twinge of pity. But that faded the moment I remembered the hidden camera pointed at my backyard. Justice had been served. As I walked out of the courthouse, the sun hit the courthouse steps just right. For the first time in months, I felt peace. I defended my home, my privacy, and my sanity, using the one weapon Beverly never understood, the law. That weekend, I actually did host that pool party. Neighbors showed up with snacks, laughter, and a shared sense of relief. Someone joked, you should put up a new sign, invitation only, HOA Presidents not welcome. I might have to. Sometimes justice doesn't arrive with drama or fireworks. Sometimes, it comes quietly, like a gavel striking once, or a forged document unraveling under scrutiny. In my case, it came with a smile, a splash, and a final lesson. Never trespass on the wrong lawyer's pool. If you've ever had a power-hungry HOA story of your own, drop it in the comments, I might just tell it next. And hey, hit that like button if you believe karma still knows how to swim.